Hi, Steven. Going going on about more about Commonwealth. Do you think the cost of living was worth it?
No, it absolutely was not worth it. There's, I guess, for college you're paying for the right to live on the campus and the convenience of living on the campus.
Yeah.
And if I live 5 minutes away from campus, like my house, so I could just live there and save a bunch of money. But my parents want me to live on campus, and I want to live on campus, so that's why we stay here. But I don't know how much you said it was to live in Commonwealth. It's absolutely not worth that. I mean, given you're right next to the Pilot House, and you're right next to Southside and the gym, but that convenience is not worth having one light source in your room and a student lounge that was literally a table and a chair and looked more like a solitary confinement room you'd find in prison than something you would study in. Now we got like a couch like halfway through the year.
Yeah.
But why would I ever go in that room just to sit on a couch when I have my room? That's pitch black, but it's still my room and I have a bed in there. And it was a terrible building. And they started doing like maintenance halfway through, and they were doing that the rest of the year. And so I always liked to take the stairs, but I couldn't take the stairs because it was walled off because they were putting in like a new lounge down there, which I don't know why, because why would you spend money on a new lounge and another TV at George Mason? Like, we don't have enough of those. And so we got another TV down there that I didn't get to use. So I didn't get to use the stairs, I didn't get to use the new lounge, and they didn't put the money in, say, fixing the fucking elevators that only ever work like once. And I was kind of like jerked and shit whenever they're trying to go up. I'm like, oh, that's comforting. And the lights don't work. The lights don't always work in the elevators there. Maybe they do now. I haven't lived there this year. But it was, the only highlights of Commonwealth was that it was near the Pilot House, was that it was near my physics classroom, and then it was, they had like a lot of laundry that I could do there. So yeah, I could do my laundry and I could sleep. And those were the highlights of Commonwealth. But what more can you ask from like a college campus, right? I could sleep and do my laundry. That's why I pay $8,000 a year in-state, which is nice. Yeah. Better than like $20,000 to go to a commuter college.
So, what are your true feelings of Mason housing?
I mean, Mason, it's the same for every university. I mean, I guess I haven't been to any others, but it's a business, and they want to get your money. And they want to get your money any way they can, by overcharging for housing, overcharging for meal plans, overcharging for parking tickets, overcharging for books, overcharging for anything you see here. It costs more to get. The best deal on campus is the foam cups they have in the general store. You get like 50 for $1.89. I like that. So there's a bright side to George Mason University. Foam cups at the general store.
Are there any personal experiences you've had with Mason housing that have been bad or good or anything like that?
Oh yeah, here's a good one from Commonwealth. So, the bathrooms are pretty terrible, and we had like, I'm not exactly sure how this worked, but we had one socket, there's like 2 sockets in your 2-sink bathroom, and one of them worked and the other didn't. And so we put in, 3 different calls to maintenance to fix it. And so eventually, like the second semester, after we've been doing it for a whole semester and a half, they come in and they fix it. And somehow in fixing the socket, they flood my entire room.
Oh my god.
So when fixing the electricity of my room socket in the bathroom, they unleash water on my room while my roommate and I aren't there. And so they were nice enough to give us 2 huge tornado fans that we had like going for like a day in our room to get it to dry out.
Yeah.
And luckily, my roommate got back just as it started to flood.
Okay.
And so he got my printer and stuff out of the way, but like half the room was like covered in water.
Yeah.
And
did you lose anything?
We didn't lose anything. We had to deal with tornado fans in the room and a wet floor for the entire rest of the semester because that carpet is crap anyway.
Yeah.
And then the guy comes back and is like, oh, sorry. And then his supervisor yells at him for turning off the water. And I don't know why he had to turn off the water to fix the electrical outlet in the bathroom. Maybe I'm not an electrician or anything, but that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. then the shower didn't always work. I mean, it worked, water would come out, but you're supposed to, it says like 2 modes, and you try to switch the mode, and sometimes when I switch the mode, the shower head would just turn off. And you'd hear the water like building up behind the shower head, which wasn't very comforting.
No, it doesn't sound very comforting.
After about the same time as the power electricity went out and we had to get it fixed, I tried it one day and it did the thing where like it turned and then it started building up and I was like shit, and then I tried to turn it back and then it popped off. Like the whole shower head just pops off on me in the shower. So I'm there at like 1:40 in the morning when everybody else is asleep, cussing up a storm because it's all dirty and shit and the water's and I'm trying to get the screw on and I spend like a half an hour, so like a 10-minute shower turns into an hour of trying to get the shower head to stay on.
Oh man.
And it's just, Commonwealth's a great building and I encourage you all to live there because you'll never have a greater experience than Commonwealth. Fucking shit. But I got put in Washington in a single, which I didn't request at all, and a handicap single. So I got my own bathroom, a huge room, and it was fantastic. And so, you know, my highlight of Mason housing is that they thought I was handicapped and put me in a handicap.